Please put your hands. This guy tours all over. If you like him, make sure you come out to Flagstaff and see at the Big Pine Comedy Festival. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Conor Dorney.
One more time for your host, Matt Broom, everybody. House of Comedy, thank you so much. I'd like to apologize in advance. I did not bring any snacks tonight. I asked Matt before the show if I needed to bring anything. He didn't tell me I needed to go on the Costco run. So I would love to read the Yelp reviews of the show after that. Like, no, the club was great. Every comic brought snacks. It was wonderful. It's a wonderful time. You guys today actually got off to a pretty rough start for me. I mean, let's be honest, they all do. I walked into my roommate having sex, which was weird, because I live with my girlfriend. This whole time I thought cheat day was part of her diet, but turns out she was just being honest, so good for her, I guess. I actually do have a girlfriend, which is weird because look at me. And buckle up, it's a very self-deprecating set, you guys. Just get on board now. Get on board now. No, I was talking with her on Skype recently while she was out of town because I would like to have sex in the future. And only a couple people got that. Perfect. Real Skype crowd. I like it. Skype crowd. No, I noticed when I was video chatting with her on Skype that her profile picture was her and some guy that I didn't recognize. So I decided to do some investigating. I was like, hey babe, who the fuck is that? She's like, oh sorry, this is really embarrassing. I haven't logged into Skype in like 2 years. That's actually my ex-boyfriend. I'm like, no, that's fine. I just want to know why you're wearing the shirt I bought you for Christmas. Fun fact, she wrote the punchline for that joke, so. She's working on that joke for 2 weeks, not working. She's like, here you go, you unfunny piece of shit. Use this. Use this. A little bit of pain every time you tell that joke. Do you guys ever invite someone over to your place just so you can have the motivation to clean it? Done that number, like, hey, want to come hang out? I haven't taken out my vacuum this month. This is a little ridiculous. No, like, in my apartment, for example, there were pieces of trash that were being used to hold other pieces of trash. Like some Russian nesting dolls of sadness. Like, don't awe now. It's gonna get worse from here. I promise. No, I'll give you an example. Like on my kitchen counter, okay, there was a Chipotle bag, right? Inside of that, there was a McDonald's bag. Don't worry, I know how the rest of this joke goes. But believe it or not, I remember how this joke that I wrote goes. Believe it or not. So, anyways, inside the Chipotle bag, there was a McDonald's bag. Not a Burger King bag, despite what some people might tell you. Inside of that, there was a beer bottle. And then inside of that beer bottle was a suicide note. Like, makes sense. It's my handwriting. Totally makes sense. I was back home recently and was getting to hang out with my dad. My dad's a very interesting person. People will always ask him if he's from the South because he talks so slow. And he is, in fact, from the South. He's from South Portland, Oregon, the hipster swamps of South Portland. He also has a very generic vocabulary and a way of describing things. Like we're driving around one day and he just goes, hey, look at that big thing. He was talking, as you know, about an airplane. I'm like, we know what the word for that is. Let's just go ahead with that one. That might not seem like a big deal, like, you know, being slow to get your words out or not being very direct. But it becomes a problem when for work, what we were doing was we were inspecting local football fields in our area, which is exactly as boring as it sounds. So you have to go to middle schools, high schools, that sort of thing. One place you definitely don't want to talk slow or not be able to get your point out is when you're a strange male entering an elementary school. So we walked in there, the lady at the front desk was like, "How can I help you?" And my dad just goes, "We're here to look at the fields." I'm like starting to sweat at this point, looking around. And then he follows that up with, "What time is recess?" I'm like, no. Should I just run out to the parking lot, jot down the license plate? Let's get this Amber Alert started. Speed the process up a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but personally, like whenever I see an Amber Alert, I can always tell whether or not the kid's going to make it based on the year and make of the car. See that message pop up, and it's like, 82 Oldsmobile? That kid's fucked. That kid's totally fucked. Let's get this hashtag started, why don't we? I recently had my first strip club experience. Thank you. Exactly the response it always gets. This was for a bachelor party back home where I'm from in Seattle. And as is customary, before entering any club in Seattle, we all have between 2 and 3 edibles. Because what is more comforting to a high person than strobe lights and strangers taking their clothes off in front of you? Couldn't think of a better scenario. So we walked in, and the group dynamic's already weird because the bachelor is actually marrying my sister. Okay? If you think that's weird, also at our party are his dad and his grandfather. It's like a fucking redneck family reunion. So people start offering the bachelor private dances, and he's refusing. They all get pushed onto me because they're like, "Hey, you look like the second saddest person in this group. You look like you friend the strippers on Facebook after. How do you spell cinnamon anyways, right? Is that with an S or a C?" So anyways, I go back with this first girl, and a waitress comes up to us. She said, "Would you like to buy your lady a drink?" Now, to this point, I forget a key rule about strip clubs in Seattle. They're dry venues, okay? No alcohol allowed. I didn't remember this. She says, "Would you like to buy your lady a drink? $10 or $20? I was like, $20, right? This is a gentleman's club after all. I'm not an asshole. She turns to the girl. She says, "What do you want to drink, sweetheart?" She says, "I'll take a Sprite." I'm like, "Wait, go what? Guys, I just paid for $20 worth of Sprite? That's a lot of Sprite. That's too much Sprite to be. That's like a 12-year-old's birthday party worth of Sprite. So much Sprite. Like she's gonna be sick. Like I don't want that." So anyway, she starts doing her thing. Turns out her thing is being very bad at stripping. Didn't go on Yelp beforehand, that's my fault. And at one point she says to me, she says, "Yeah, right now I'm trying to save up some money so I can move back to Michigan. Is anybody here from Michigan?" Fuck no, that's the correct response. Not once have I done this joke and someone's like, "Yeah, I'm from Michigan!" It's always just someone quietly raising their hand in the dark corner. Look, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but a good thought doesn't pop into my head when someone tells me they're from Michigan. Okay? Maybe that's just me, I don't know. I can't be like searching for positives and be like, "Michigan, looks like a hand, right? I'm sure you've had a lot of those inside of you." I can't. Wow, that's what got you. You guys are all acting like this joke's about your daughter. Like, ease up a little bit, guys. It's all good. I don't know. Maybe like I don't think a good thing about Michigan, but I understand because I'm from one of those places where maybe people don't think a good thing about it. I'm from Seattle. Is anybody here from Seattle? Perfect. Yeah, one person. There we go. Got the Skype crowd on board. No, I told someone I was from Seattle one time, and the girl goes, "Oh, Seattle, doesn't that have the highest suicide rate in the country?" As if that's like page 1 of the travel guide. Like you're not reading, you're like, the Columbia Tower is the tallest building in Seattle. Wink, wink. That's not reading that. Oh, the state bird's just a handful of sleeping pills. That's pretty cool. Really feel like you can fly after that. And she's like, what is it like to be from such a depressing place? I'm like, honestly, it's pretty great. I mean, the line at Starbucks gets shorter every day. It's pretty... There we go. Another suicide joke to get you guys back on board. That's the true strength of this crowd. All right, guys, I'll leave you guys with this thought. I personally feel like if the whole big shoes equals big penis thing is true, then everyone's fear of clowns is completely justifiable. My name's Conor Dorney. Have a great night.